About time England won a World Cup, innit?
You are watching and listening to Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch us on YouTube. Listen on your favourite podcast platform or ask your smart speaker to play the podcast Leicester Till I Die.
Subscribe, like, follow and join in now.
Chipped in.
You're watching Leicester Till I Die TV.
And it's live.
Good evening. Well, his sloppy seconds, what do you call terrible thirds? Tantalising thirds? I'm sure somebody will suggest a word as we go through it. Well, that's it. Group stage is over. I mean, what a World Cup. It started slowly. A bit like me. I started slowly and all coming good at the end. I mean, look, Uruguay, 14th in the world, out. Mexico, 13th in the world, out. Germany, 11th in the world, out. Denmark, 10th in the world, out. Belgium, 2nd in the world, out. I mean, no wonder Infantino looks fucking miserable sat at the pitch watching the games. I mean, I don't know about you. I don't think he was expecting it.
You didn't expect that, did you? Did you? No.
Oh, I don't think he did. But look, it is, they say, the review show. We're going to look back at the group stages. Like I said, it took a little bit to get going, not unlike Dan. But then eventually we were up and running. Naz is in. Good evening, sir. How the devil are you? Right, let's bring him in. I go. Oh no, he's gone and he's back. Everybody's going in and out on me. It's like I'm hosting a fucking hokey cokey party. You know what I mean? In out. And we all know that what Kate says. We do know that Dan can shake it all about. Good evening, sir.
Hey, good evening to your fine self, Chris. Good evening to the chat. Good evening to everybody. It's Happy Friday. Never mind Happy Mondays. Doesn't take a Monday or best to shake maracas. It's Friday. Let's all be happy and positive. Some of the big guns are out. And Chris, thanks for having me.
No, I always enjoy having you. You know that. It's a bit sore, and I've got to leave longer gaps between it now. But yeah, so
I'll never forget that time you tried clearing it up with Brill cream instead of Sudocrem.
You nearly got that right.
Nearly.
Mel's in. Good evening, Mel. How the devil are you?
Evening, Melina. Hope you're well.
Naz says, all right, Dan. Melina says,
how are we doing, Naz?
Let us bring, I did say earlier that he was actually the hinge to my bracket. And I just thought of that. I mean, if anybody actually remembers hinge and bracket, you'll know why I do find that a little bit sort of scary. Yeah, I think they might have been Scottish, actually. But anyway, he is my Ronnie to his Ronnie, my Eric to his Ernie, my Tommy to his Bobby. What can I say? It's the man with the balls. Let's bring him in. Douglas, good evening, sir.
It's good. It's good evening from him. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
Ah,
Ages. It's been ages. I've been worried about you.
I know it's been what 55 minutes or something.
Exactly, yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, thank you very much for having me as always.
No, you are more than welcome as well. These two guys, they are always on the channel. They're mods on the channel, so the details are in the description below. But let's give them a chance to shout their own trumpet. Well, with that, Dan, it's usually coming out the other end. But let's give him a chance to speak his trumpet and tell people where they can find him.
Everywhere but OnlyFans. Social media whore. You can find me all over the shop. However, open for business 24/7. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, the whole shebang. You can find us. Search Turf Morehouse and we'll be there. And again, Chris, thanks for having me. And Doug, hope you are well.
Thank you, sir. And he is open 24/7. Kate has told me. Let us go north of the border. It's the man who comes with his own subtitles. Doug, tell us where people can find you.
That is bloody harsh. Yeah, you can.
What?
That is bloody harsh. You can find me. You can find me in Scotland. You can also find me on YouTube at the Dugout Football Channel.
Oh dear, I'm sorry about that. I'm going to be honest with you. As Scotsmen go, you are probably one of the easier ones to understand.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes, I have had a few on here. I mean, I do not get on with the Geordie accent. Love John Sinclair to bits. He's a lovely, lovely guy, but I can't understand a fucking word he says. I really can't. But you're good lady. Well, I say good lady. I mean, I use the term very loosely, lady. But Kate's in. Good evening, Kate. How are you? Nas says it's going to be one of those nights tonight. I don't care. It's after 10. Nas says can't wait. Boxing tomorrow. Chris, Team Tyson Fury. P for P, ATG, TDK. Yeah, right. You've lost me already.
Pound for pound.
Hi, Kate, and Chris is in.
P for P is pound for pound, Chris.
Is it pound for pound?
Yeah.
What's ATG? I mean, if you're looking at us lot, all the Goonies, I guess, but you know,
Probably me. A tosser of ginge.
Yeah, you got it the
A
wrong
top
way
guy.
round. It should be AGT, shouldn't it? Really. Anyway, welcome along, Chris. Thank you very much for joining us. Nice to see that Doug is once again in his Wolves home shirt. It's nice to see that he's made the effort.
Wolves home shirt. Jesus.
It is, it's gold, isn't it? You know, at least I'm trying to get festive. I mean, in fairness, I did have the Christmas hat on earlier, but because I haven't got so much hair these days, it does make me scalp itch, so I can't keep it on very long.
You can tell it's Christmas in my house. Look, I've opened the wallet. I've even let the moths go out for this year. Let them fly away for a little bit.
God, that only gets open once a year.
Yeah, the moths are south for the winter.
And I must admit, I have got certain underwear that has the same effect on me as that hat.
Been Monday all week in them buggers, Chris.
It is. I'm here for the underdog. If you're here for the boxing, Chris, you are 24 hours early. It's tomorrow night at 9:15, but it's still nice to see you.
I think he's at it.
All-time great, the Gypsy King, of course, the Gypsy King.
You big doctor.
I think I'm not a big boxing fan, but already I can tell that Fury will probably knock him out.
Well, he's done it twice before, hasn't he? But
yeah.
Talking about a knockout, you know, three counts to 10 and a knockout. We will be looking at who has come bottom in the prediction show, who has come middle and who has come top. The good, the bad, the ugly. And as I say, I don't really want to give sort of any clues away, but
I don't know, it's so difficult not to look smug at this point.
I'll leave that with you. But gentlemen, what a World Cup it's come to life, hasn't it, Doug?
It has. It has been fabulous. It's been absolutely fabulous. So yes, some of the games, I think there's been like 5 or 6 0-0s, but overall, I do think that the games have been fabulous to watch, especially the last couple of nights. They've absolutely just come to light. You know, they've been very electric. I have to say as well that we've had a lot of shocks in the group stages.
Oh, yes, yeah, definitely. And we'll obviously go through the groups one at a time in a bit. But I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to be one of well, it could end up being one of the great World Cups. You know, take all the controversy aside and just do it for the football. As you said, there's been some great games. I mean, Dan, I read them out earlier. Uruguay, Mexico, Denmark, Belgium, Germany. Probably the bigger names going out. What a shame about Uruguay. But
tell us how you really feel, Chris.
It's just a shame that sort of when Suarez went down, he hadn't broken his leg, to be honest with you. But I mean, that's just my feeling. As I say, Uruguay and Uruguay, so let's get on with it.
No.
I thought you'd heard that one before.
No.
I can't. Look, I'm going to blame Mock the Week for that one because I pinched it off them. But I will give myself one of these. But young Daniel, I know that Denmark's been the biggest shock for Douglas. For you, who's been the biggest shock out of those compared to what you were expecting when they came into the tournament?
Probably.
It's a multiple choice. The answer's there, mate.
To be fair, I said Morocco are a dark horse. I also did say France, but let's not. We'll move past that one, Chris. I did say Morocco are a dark horse, and they topped the group of Group F.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to Australia. I know Doug's gone for Denmark and said they were a shock, and I get it if you completely flip the switch. You know what I mean? That Denmark, for me, and I'm going to take what Doug said earlier, say it as it is. I think Denmark are a lot better and stronger team without Christian Eriksen. I think there's too much modelled about him. His game, their nation is modelled about it, though, Chris.
I got a second because I'm going to take what Doug said and I'm going to come straight out of it. What part of Uruguay, Mexico, Denmark, Belgium, and Germany says Australia? Those are the big names that have gone out.
Yeah, but you said shock.
Yeah, out of those, I named them for you. It was a multiple choice.
Oh, right. Well, if it was multiple choice out of the shocks, listen, I've had a full bottle of red tonight. I couldn't give a shit that.
The fact that I asked the question, gave you the answers, and you sat there and went, and then you came up with Australia. I mean,
well, when you said shock, I thought you meant of shock teams that have gone through. But well, no.
Let me rewind. Daniel, let me ask you, because I know what Doug's is, because Doug is Denmark, his biggest shock. But out of Uruguay, Mexico, Denmark, Belgium and Germany, who have all gone out, which of those is the biggest shock to you?
I do think, however, that Doug has a very strong point for Denmark, because when you look at it, we've all said that Germany grow into a tournament. They are, but they haven't this time. Belgium's golden generation of shit out, you know, so that's gone to pot. But yeah, Denmark, as I just said, to be honest, completely and utterly stronger team without Christian Eriksen. When he's in the side, it's almost like they try and model the team around him and his passing. It just doesn't work. You can see how much togetherness and how stronger they were without him, knowing they can have a bit more freedom in their game. Yeah. So, yeah, stronger without Christian Eriksen and Denmark. I completely agree with Doug.
Do you think, though, Doug, and this is something I've said, and Kate says you're just pissed all the time anyway, even when you're not on the wine. But, Doug, we've said this about a few players. You mentioned Gareth Bale on the watch-along earlier. There's so many big names that either A, haven't turned up at all, or B, have only just started to get into this. And do the teams rely on these players too much? Because I know I keep saying it, but no Bale, no Whale was something I said at the start, and it kind of proved it.
Well, you look at the difference with what England had been doing. Like people said for so long that you guys always relied on David Beckham to get you get you out of trouble. Yeah. Wayne Rooney, like another example. But if Belgium don't have Kevin De Bruyne in their team, they struggle. It's as simple as that. Now, Kevin De Bruyne can't carry this Belgium side. Belgium have been a big disappointment for me. But I will go on and now say it, that I actually had a feeling that they would flop. And I have to say that I stand by picking them to go through. But the thing is, what you have to say with Belgium is that they had so many chances against Croatia. They should have beaten them. Against Canada, they were lucky. They were very, very lucky to win that. Neymar hasn't really turned up in this World Cup yet. No. And I know he's been injured, but you can add Neymar to that. You can add Gareth Bale to that. Eriksen, De Bruyne. I'm just trying to think if there's anyone else. Suarez. These players who we expect to sort of turn up haven't. Holland, honestly, I will say this now, that the US will fancy their chances tomorrow because Holland aren't great. Holland are average at best.
Yes, yeah. No, we know. Moving on, because we do know that Dan's biggest surprise to go through was Australia. I don't know. I just got the feeling that he would say that if I asked him that question. For you, I mean, I've got to be honest with you. So I should say, sorry, for me, I'd probably say Belgium is my biggest shock, because I expected Germany not to get through because they're still rebuilding. And I suppose, it is the golden generation for Belgium. Sven sort of messed it up for England. Maybe Martinez has for Belgium. But looking on the other flip side, Dan already obviously has, Australia's his surprise for going through. Who's your surprise to be still in there?
South Korea, I have to say. I honestly thought the first game against Uruguay, they actually had enough chances to, go through. To beat Portugal was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. I thought they had lost it when they obviously lost to, Ghana 3-2. And, they were in the game. They were definitely in the game then. But, yeah, for me, I think the biggest shock for me is definitely South Korea going through. I did not expect South Korea to go through. And if I'm being honest, there is a lot of good teams in there. Like Morocco have shocked me as well. Yes, I know I actually said on other channels, and I did say Morocco were one of my teams to go through that group with Croatia. Another one I'd have to say, I think have been very, very good, are the US. I think the US, for me, they should have beaten Wales. Maybe you'd argue they were unlucky not to get 3 against England, because they were very, very good. I really like what the US have got. They've got a very young side. They've got they've got an energetic young side coming through there as well. So as I said, they will fancy their chances against the Netherlands tomorrow.
For me, I'm going to be honest with you, having gone for Belgium to be the biggest shock, I've gone for Japan going through. And yes,
good shout.
I know they lost to Costa Rica, but you've got Spain and Germany in that group. Now, Germany probably weren't the surprise. They're not the team that they were. We know that. But to start off with the win against Germany, and that put Germany on the back foot straight away. Then the Costa Rican side that lost 7-0 to Spain then went and beat them 1-0. But then to face top of the table Spain in their last game and beat them 2-1. I think Japan have been a refreshing addition to this tournament. What do you guys think of Japan?
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I'm actually gonna say this now. I actually on my show, I actually had Japan get into the semis because I've been very impressed with their squad. And we haven't really seen sort of big names that have really sort of come out in that sort of Japan side. Like Tanaka, we've seen Endo, we've seen we've not really seen Minamino, we've not really seen like Mitoma sort of come through. Gonda redeemed himself last night, like that. The goalkeeper who conceded that stupid goal for Costa Rica, he really redeemed himself. But yeah, Japan were fabulous. To go 1-0 down against Spain. Many teams have capitulated to Spain, but no, Japan came out in that second half, full of attacking, full of spirit, full of knowing that you get the result, you're through, and to win the group as well. I think that's the biggest surprise for me is them winning the group. I don't think anyone expected them to win the group. Maybe to go through, but not to win the group.
No. Ash says here Japan have been atomic. Yes. And what I love about having Doug on the show, sometimes it's that delayed reaction. You can get your laugh out, and then Doug's going, oh yes. Yeah. On that point.
That's terrible.
Can you guys see the chat, by the way? I have changed it so that I don't know if you guys can see the chat.
I can't, because obviously I'm on my phone, so I can't.
I'm on my phone as well, so I can't see the chat either.
What the bugger then? I might as well just wipe it off. We started with a kiss. It started with a shock. Obviously, Saudi Arabia, one of the early games, and you've just got to look at. If we're just looking at the football, Dan, it has been one of the best World Cups for a while.
It has, and you can't say it's down to the heat. A lot of people were questioning the heat. Are the stadiums going to be fit enough, etc.? And that's still taking, the politics away from it. There's not been any drinks breaks as we've seen since game week 1. So the aircon's been working in the stadiums. It seems to be, the times of kickoff seems to be working fine. Yes, we've had shocks. But that's what I like. FIFA, I think you'll probably agree with this, Chris. FIFA will want the big names through. FIFA will want people to tune into that big ultimate final between two big guns. But I would love nothing more than to see an underdog story. Like I said, the Euros, we saw the similar thing with Greece. Why can't we have it in a World Cup as well?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you'd agree as well, wouldn't you, Doug?
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, Greece is the prime example of that. The Euro 2004, that was a great tournament as well. So yeah, absolutely.
I've got to be honest with you. I thought John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John played really well up front at Euros.
Lightning, weren't they?
Yes.
Moving on. I do think that we could potentially maybe see a Japan go far. We might see it potentially, we might actually see someone shocking. Well, not someone shocking, but a shock name that you wouldn't expect to be in there to potentially win it.
You said shopping then. I thought, what are they going to do? Following around Qatar into the shops?
I do agree with you about Japan, though. Costa Rica next. They are beatable.
Yeah.
Croatia,
yeah. I was just looking then, thinking the table I'm looking at here is Costa Rica bottom.
Did I say Costa Rica? Sorry, it's because I can see Costa Rica on my screen. I do apologise.
I mean, I know there's been a few dodgy decisions, but I don't know who they paid to get through. I tell you what, though, Infantino, and he's been going to like one half in one game, one half in the next. He's looked really, really pissed off, and whether that's because he's seeing his big favourite teams going out. I don't know, but he looks absolutely pissed off, doesn't he?
Oh dear. How sad. Never mind.
Can I just say that my highlight of the tournament so far was tonight, because it is the first time that I've had the better game than Doug.
I knew that was coming.
I came close. In fairness, I came close with Croatia, Belgium. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Costa Rica, Germany. I came close with that one, but in the end, Germany sort of, they went 4-2 up. But this one, and then we had the WWE at the end, and the lad drags and handbags, and you up until the last minute were sat there with a 0-0, and I'm just thinking, I don't care. I'm winning tonight. This is my night. It's taken me all fucking week, but I finally got one.
Do you think as well that the most shocking thing is we've only had 2 red cards in this tournament so far?
I find it hard to believe, especially when you looked at that Qatari referee. Nicola's in. Good afternoon, sir. How the devil are you? Bad luck. Commiserations. I was rooting for you, but I probably what cursed it. I mean, that game where the referee from Qatar officiated, I don't know how we had 11 players versus 11 on at the end.
No.
Was that USA Wales? I've got a feeling that was USA Wales.
Wow, it could be. It could well have been. It could well have been. But I mean, for me, the best referees have been European and South American. I still love the fact that when they had that referee from AFCON on, the injury time was plus 7 minutes. It was like you just knew that was going to happen. But Dan, I'm going to be honest with you. If I had to name the officials I'd want in that final, it would be the 3 bloody women that did the game last night.
Yeah, did well. Did really well. I'm glad that it's come at this point as well. I know we don't want to get into the politics of it, but everything. But it's a massive statement to have that happen at a Qatari World Cup. And they didn't put a foot wrong. They didn't put a foot wrong. And if anything, I must say the officials and the refereeing the game was it Stephanie something?
Stephanie Frappart.
That's the one. Frank Lampard, but female, whatever it were. She you know what? She didn't take no shit.
No.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't take no shit, and she managed that game very, very well.
And I think the thing is, with it being, and I think I said it was you I said this to, Doug, is because Leicester had an all-female team doing us in the, I think it was either the Europa League a couple of years ago. And the thing with it, it's very hard for the male players to go and surround the female referee and give her. I mean, the Uruguayans are a disgrace. I'm sorry, but they were absolutely awful. At the end, they were surrounding the referee. They were yelling. They were almost spitting in his face. They were pulling him back, and they wouldn't do that if it was the woman. And there was none of that in that game last night with the female referee. And fair play, and maybe that's what we need to keep the male players under control.
Yeah, definitely. As I said to you, Stephanie Frappart is definitely one of the best women refs that we've got as well. We've obviously done a game. We did a game earlier this season where she was referee. I think it was Real Madrid Celtic, where Real Madrid won like 5-1 against Celtic. But in that game, she was actually. In that game, she was very, very good in that game. So she obviously knows what she's doing, and people respect her for that.
Yeah,
it's amazing how much we've advanced as well, isn't it? From the days of Mark Newell slagging off Shauna Massey as a lineswoman to where we are now with 3 female match officials. I'm glad that the game's gone in that direction, because at the end of the day, we could be looking at a lot of other drastic measures, but I won't go any further into it because obviously it then gets political, doesn't it?
Yeah. So we are going to be looking now at the group prediction review.
Forgot we were doing that.
Sorry?
I forgot we were covering that.
You were just enjoying yourself so much, weren't you?
I was.
Have you seen that Greta Thunberg on Russell Howard clip?
Yes, yeah, I have, yeah.
Yeah, I expect you to burp in a minute, Dan. But before we actually get into this, just a couple of shows that are coming up tomorrow night. You can find me and Diddy Dan doing the watch along for the third in the trilogy of Tyson Chisora. We know it should be Anthony Joshua, but he chickened out. Let's be honest with you, Chisora. It's going to be Tyson. He's already won 2, so it's going to be the third. But join us 9:15 tomorrow on this channel for the watch along. We have then also got. I'm then joined by the bracket to my hinge. England will be playing Senegal on Sunday night, and Doug will be joining me for that one. 6:30 for a kickoff at 7. And then I'm just going to say, Dan, thank you so much for modelling for this. But Wednesday, the 21st of December at 9 o'clock, we have got the big fat big fat Christmas quiz. When you two gentlemen will both be on it.
I'm already on it. There you go.
Along with Carl and Reese. Not a football question in sight. But it'll be fun. It's just before Christmas. We're gonna come on here. We're gonna have loads of dad jokes, silly questions, and plenty of alcohol.
I'll tell you one thing that you don't realise, Chris, is how itchy it is since I shaved my chest since that shot. Jeez.
You shaved that to go on your face, did you? People don't realise is how well that is positioned with the overlay just to cover up certain things.
Please don't put the bottom half on.
Actually, you couldn't see it anyway, could you? Was it
No,
Peter Kay once said?
Just letting you know, if you do have a family member that does like confectionery, walnut whips are still available to purchase.
Was it Peter Kay that said he's got a veranda above the toy shop?
Yeah, it was. It was.
Time. Just to remind you, these were the groups going in, and I've got to say, Doug. I mean, when you look at the way that they have been put out, I mean, Croatia being 4th under Morocco, it's almost like the last games there was no, we didn't get a sort of Japan versus Costa Rica or a Germany, versus Spain. It was almost like designed for the big guns to play the little guns. So if they needed to get through, they could do.
Yeah, it's just nice to see Scotland actually in that picture, because I suppose we'll ever come.
Where's Scotland?
In Group B, because at the time on the graphic.
Yes, yeah. When I did that, you were, yeah. Well, you see, the thing is, Doug. You see, we felt for you this World Cup. You think we've had you in on these watch-alongs because we like you. But we don't. Rebecca messaged us and said, look, please, he's going to be lost because he's not at another World Cup. Will you please have him on your shows and make him feel involved? So that's what we've been doing. Anyway, let us have a look at the predictions. So, right, this is going to be, if this works, I will be overly impressed, because I was playing with this all morning. Let me just see if I can do that, and I can do that. There we go. Look at that. Almost perfect. What can I say? So Group A, which finished Netherlands top, Senegal second, Ecuador third, and Qatar fourth. It has to be said, this was not a bad start by us three. You and me better, in fairness, Dan. Because Doug, now I've got to say this, if anybody's watching and thinking like, I don't remember Doug going for that, as I have often said, he has been on about 16 shows doing these predictions, knowing that he can pull one out and go, look, I got it right. So, I mean, you put Senegal top, Doug. Don't explain your thinking behind that.
I just felt at the time that, you know, when Senegal were actually doing well, they were doing well. I thought they might cause a wee upset here. So I think if they had Mane, then I think it may have been a little bit different. They had chances in that Netherlands game. They could have easily came top, but I think in the end, I think not having their main man, which is really sad to see in the end, because he was the one that got them there. He was the one that won the AFCON for them. I felt very, very sorry, but actually, Senegal did well to get through, because I thought Ecuador, for most of that group, were the much better team, and Qatar are Qatar. So.
Yeah. Danny, welcome back, mate, from earlier. That's bloody harsh on Scotland. The truth can sometimes hurt, Danny. What am I saying? What can I say? Jeff's woken up. Good morning. It will be morning over there now, won't it?
Wow.
Chris, Dan, Doug, what a great World Cup we are having. The story so far is not who has made the round of 16. It's about who didn't. And who didn't make it there at all, Scotland. Anyway, we'll move on from that one. Dan, probably the easiest thing there was to predict that Qatar, put my teeth in and do that one again, that Qatar would finish bottom. And, sorry, I'm full of Qatar. I need to blow my nose. I think we all knew they were going to come bottom. They didn't disappoint us. The worst ever performance by a host nation. But I don't suppose they are particularly bothered.
No, I think they'll take experience from it.
Rulers, you know,
they'll take they will take the experience from this, knowing full well they've been able to host a World Cup as a pretty brand new part of the world, really. Not really that old in terms of a nation. So. 3 defeats, yeah, fair enough. I'm just glad that we managed to predict this one all right, because it just goes downhill for me from here.
You're not wrong. But, I mean, Doug, I mean, sure. Can you say that they even turned up, really?
No. They were shite.
At least you thought about it for a minute.
Sorry, Doug. Can I just ask? There's nothing better than the 2 words that a Scottish person can say, and it sounds really heartfelt. Is shite or calling somebody a cow. It sounds like the most offensive 2 words, because you're like, "Who are you talking about, you coo?" And you're like,
No, Qatar were shite. Absolutely shite. Honestly, I like the fact that they had the player called a thief as well just summed it up. Like, they were just dreadful, absolutely dreadful. And honestly, I think that keeper that they played all 3 games, I think he is come out of a talent competition, because he was absolutely god awful. Absolutely god awful. But
Sepp Blatter played up front for Qatar, or was there actually a player called a thief?
Hey.
I mean, they got a goal, Doug. They at least got 1 goal. I suppose that's something to take away, isn't it?
Is it? Is it? Well, I mean, they've scored a goal, but let's be honest, they are probably not going to get to qualify for many more World Cups, if I'm being honest, because their team is absolutely average.
Well, you can't buy more than 1 World Cup, can you? Surely.
No, they're just terrible. They're just terrible. But I think everyone kind of predicted in the end that they would probably finish last, and fair play to Ecuador, by the way. Fair play to Ecuador. I thought they gave it a really, really good go. Unlucky to lose in the years. Yeah, they were. And, to draw with the Netherlands as well is no mean feat as well. And I think Ener Valencia had a very good tournament. Moises Caicedo as well. I think there'll be a few suitors for him in January. The Brighton midfielder.
Can I just say, if you close your eyes, Dan, and when you're listening to Doug, do you not sort of I get a vision of Alan Hansen in my head. I hope that's just try it. But, there we go. I could have said that one of the crankies, so be pleased with that. So we started.
Sometimes, Chris, I just shut my eyes and all ears. I'm on my way from misery
As
to
a bit of happiness today.
I'll tell you what, one place they won't be sending a letter from, it's Qatar.
Can I just say, has anybody actually watched Sunshine on Leith?
Yep.
Now,
yeah.
I like the Proclaimers. I've nothing against them, but they've had 2 good songs. Right? We know that. Apart from that, and I thought, I'm gonna sit and watch this film. I mean, I'm no music critic, but you can tell why they've only had those 2 big songs, can't you, for me? But
I'll never forget that time. It was Burnley opened the season. They had two things happening. They had they had 3. They had a Burnley blimp that flew over the stadium, which apparently went missing. Then they had one of the Red Arrows parachute from a plane, landed on the top of the stadium, stopped the kickoff time from for about an hour. And the Proclaimers performed at half time. Now, if you want to talk about bad days, that was up there.
Oh dear, bless. Let's move on and give Doug a break. So that is the first group. Doug starting badly. He started there with 2 points. Dan, you and me get 4. I'm not sure Doug actually ever recovers from that, but we will see. Ash says all I hear is Freddie Flintoff with Dan.
Freddie Flintoff from Preston.
Yeah, it's still Lancashire, isn't it?
Yeah, but not sheep shagging bottlers.
No, I don't know. That's maybe being a bit unfair to Prestoners. Right, let us have a look at Group B. Is that one showing? Yes, it is. So, Germany, Group B. So, England, Senegal, Ecuador. Oh, what am I doing? For God's sake. Why isn't my thing working? There we go. England, USA, Wales, and Iran. I know what Doug sat there thinking, great, we can take the piss out of Wales now. But just think that should have been the group that Scotland were in had they qualified. He will come on in a Wolves top. What do you expect? Doug, I'm sorry I keep coming to you, but these predictions, I have to come to you first. Wales second. What were you thinking? Was that a bit of Gaelic brotherhood there?
Come on here in his Wolves jumper, giving it the Bruno Lage.
I don't know why I went with Wales. I mean, they were poor.
Yeah.
I mean, if the thing is, if Gareth Bale doesn't turn up, then he's a clutch player. He is a clutch player for him. Wales was just bad. I mean, that game against Iran, I was so happy that Iran actually won that because I've never seen a side look more anti-football than Wales were. Honestly, they were poor in that game. And the thing is as well, like, yes, we can all sort of laugh and joke about obviously how Wales were very, very poor as well. Iran have to take a bit of credit because to get beat 6-2 by England to then go and win against Wales. Yes, people can say the red card changed everything, but even then, I would have still backed Iran to beat Wales anyway. I just have a feeling with Wales now that they're going through a cycle of if they qualify, then fantastic. If they qualify, fantastic, because I think what's happening with Wales now is that there's not many new sort of players coming through. Like you like Brennan Johnson, for example. He's one. Neco Williams, he's another one. I'm just not sure there's that big name like an Ian Rush. There's not like a player like John Toshak, Ryan Giggs, for example, Craig Bellamy, Robert Earnshaw. There's a few to sort of name. I don't think there's not a kind of like superstar that's coming now. So when Bale retires, I think they may struggle for a few more years.
There
But
will be a big gap there, won't it? Although
Yeah,
having said that,
definitely.
from what he was talking, he'll probably still be pushing him on in a bath chair.
oh, honestly, I mean, the thing is, at least the planes will be driving carefully back to Wales.
That was so cheesy. It really was. I'm sorry, but you. What have I got? I think I uploaded another one for you. This one is just for you, Doug.
Oh, behave.
So please behave. Now, Dan, you're not going to get away with this either, because USA bottom.
Yeah, but can you blame me? I mean, even the USA fans were predicting USA to finish bottom. They thought they had one eye on 2026. They didn't really believe in what Greg Berhalter was doing with the national side. You know, they were all coming out saying about how, you know, he got the job on the technicality of his brother being high up on the USM MNT sort of board. It's just a little bit, you know, great fortune for the US, really. I mean, yes, okay, I put Iran second. I think Iran do have a strong team. And like Doug said, the win against Wales was fantastic. But USA is up there with another team that proved a lot of people wrong. Probably a lot of their own fans wrong. You know, they'll be the first to go, okay. You know, I've spoken to one or two since, and they still say Berhalter's a jerk. He's you know, the old, you know, proverbial American swear word. He's a jerk. But other than that, you know, they're happy enough that they've qualified. And
can I just say, if anybody that's watching, if you do actually ever play Connect 3, I've got two there: England across the top and America diagonally across the middle. We're talking about teams that are surprised the fans. Doug, I'm going to ask this to you as a Scotsman. Is England one of those? We went into this World Cup on a horrendous run of form. I actually didn't think we would get through past the round of 16 if we were lucky, which is why I booked to go away quarter-final weekend. And yet here we are, top of the, top 9 goals. You know, it's almost been a perfect start for Gareth.
Yeah. Obviously, apart from obviously 0-0 draw, but I actually remember saying on this very show, I remember saying I think England would get 7 points. So I had a feeling you wouldn't get 9 just because of the fact that it was USA. You've got a horrible record against USA. But the thing is as well, you've got a very, very good squad. My only worry is your manager is holding this team back. But he has actually let them off the leash almost. He's allowed them to play. Like your Bellinghams, Saka's, Foden's, even Jack Grealish, Callum Wilson. It's a shame we haven't seen James Maddison. I think that's understandable because obviously he's still obviously picking up that, an injury as well. I think if every Leicester fan is watching this now, I think they would probably want Maddison to potentially just come straight back home because I don't think there's any chance he's going to get any game time. I think he was just taken because of the fact that he's been playing well. I think the fans would have, been very, very cross if they hadn't took it. But there will be more times for James Maddison. Let me just say that. Yeah. But no, I think England in the end haven't really surprised me or anything. I expected it's a group you would expect to get through. maybe beating Iran 6-2 was a bit of a shock. I don't think anyone said that, but you have managed to get the job done. You have managed to top the group. I think everyone kind of expected England to top this group, and they have.
Dan, I mean, he defies his critics, Southgate, doesn't he? You know, we got a 0-0 draw basically against the team that's finished second in the group, so that's not bad. You know, we got 6 in the first game. Wales, which was a potential banana skin because they should have been up for that because they're playing England and they were playing for pride. They didn't have any pride. I could say the question is, what else could he have done?
No, I totally agree. I think that, you know, I will hold my hands up. I've said, you know, from the Nations League, I don't think we will sack him ahead of the World Cup. If it is to be, you know, relieved of his duties, it'll be after the World Cup or based on the World Cup performance. But, you know, we, as you said there to Doug, we were going into this on the back of that Nations League performance thinking, wow, we've struggled to even put the ball in the back of the net. And then we come up against Iran, score 6 goals, and you're almost like, right, so what's going on here? And then your manager comes out and he doesn't even look happy in his press conference because he's more bothered about the fact that he's conceded 2 against Iran. Now, I don't know what that says about your manager. Does that say that, you know, for me that says, you know, that's great man management, because as much as we've killed the game off in terms of the scoreline, he's still not happy at the way we defended in that game to concede those 2. Yes, the result against the US, we got a draw. But I'll be totally honest with you, even in that group and in some of the games I watched, yes, it was frustrating to watch, but I don't think we even got out of first gear.
Okay, thank you very much. Your good lady is all over the 69 fun for me. Thank you very much, Kate. Ash says
I wish you'd be all up for the 69 fun with me as well, Chris, for fuck's sake.
Well, she finds it hard to get past 68 because it's such a mouthful.
Hey.
I've told you about bringing your mates in before, Doug. I really have. But, I mean, can we be saying
it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home.
I mean, Dan Knight said, like, we're going to get beat by the Germans. His predictions get worse by the day, don't they? Is there anybody you've seen so far that would worry you for England? I did ask Doug this earlier on the earlier show, but Dan, is there anybody you can see that really worries you? For Doug, it was France. I know your dark horses when I asked you, but
to be fair, I just thinking with my old ginger dash cap on. Let's take it a game at a time. I would much rather have been playing against Holland than Senegal. If I'm being honest with you, I would much rather have faced Holland than Senegal. I think Senegal will look at us and think, yeah, England, there's a chance that we can get a result here. I think, like Doug said earlier, Holland aren't the best at the moment. They're another team in transition. They've got that mix of, you know, old and youth, but they're still in that transition of trying to find a formula that works. Yeah. And they're taking it by a game process. So I'm just going to look at the next game, which is Sunday against Senegal, and say they at the moment are the ones that stand the toughest test. Yeah,
no, that's a fair point. Ash is back already. Doesn't last as long as I do. What are you doing there, Ash?
I think people are forgetting as well that Senegal are the AFCON champions. Like, I've seen a lot of people say that England are going to just, you know, turn up and steamroll Senegal. I think it's going to be a very tough game. I think Senegal have players that can really hurt you. Ismail Assar, Bamba Dieng as well. They've got some very, very good players to hurt them as well. So I think.
Carry on. Sorry.
No, it's just that it just really wound me up earlier when I saw people saying, "Oh, England are going to steamroll Senegal. Oh, England are going to steamroll Senegal." Yeah, they're AFCON champions. Just remember that.
Yeah, and I think, and I've said this past, like, I'd sooner play Holland because, we know all the players and what have you. Or even the American teams, African teams, we know most of those players are in our leagues as well. So, and they know us just to balance it out. So on that group, I got 2, Doug got 1, Dan got 1, which makes it 6 to me, 5 to Dan, and 3 to Doug. And here we go into the next group. Now, none of us did amazingly well on this one. I think it's fair to say we all got Argentina top. Probably wasn't the hardest thing, although they did obviously have that horrendous start. Poland second, Mexico third, and we did not get a chance to see that away strip. And we had to put up with just the fans wearing it. And that, even Joe.co.uk said the same. They should be allowed, they should be given a wild card just so we can watch them play in that. Mexico came third and Saudi Arabia came fourth. A great start, Doug, for Saudi Arabia. It kind of fizzled out for them, didn't it?
It was a shame, really. I think, to be honest, I think to say that, Saudi Arabia finishes like last, I don't think anyone expected them to get any wins. So fair play to them for getting, a win over Argentina, which was fantastic. I do have to say, though, that they actually have, I can't remember his name, but it's the wee winger. Is it Al-Dazwari or someone like that?
If you think I'm going to attempt to say that name, you don't know me well enough.
I think he has been fabulous in this tournament. Someone who's really, really sort of came down to his his level. They were just unlucky. They were very, very unlucky. They had chances against Poland. They could have easily won that game as well, but just a little bit too much in the end. But do you know what? They haven't disgraced themselves. They've actually played some lovely football. They've looked a very, very good attacking side. It was just that last game in the end. It was just a little bit too much for them.
Yeah, Dan. I think, like I say, we're all in the same boat on this one. Were you surprised? Mexico was a disappointment for me. They usually do get through to the last 16. But they kind of left it too late. They came to that third game. And when you look at Serbia today, they came to the third game knowing they'd got to win. And they went for it. But Mexico didn't in that third game.
It's it's strange because, like you say, you hit the nail on the head with the answer in the question, to be honest. As you can see from what we predicted, we are used to seeing a very strong showing in the groups by Mexico. Poland is a similar situation to Korea, who we'll touch on later, that we all thought probably at that time are hanging on the hopes of one man doing the business. In Robert Lewandowski, and again, didn't really do anything. We saw Poland have qualified for this group and not really offered nothing. No. That game against Spain, they were a fucking shambles. Against Argentina, sorry. They were a shambles. An absolute shambles. So I do feel for Mexico because I think this, looking at the group, they'd have thought, yes, very good chance of getting out of it, especially after seeing that first game, with Saudis getting the points against Argentina. You've definitely got to feel that they had that chance. But again, as we've seen a lot.
Poland have almost got through by default.
Yeah. A little bit. And again, a team that haven't really played well, but have still managed to make it through.
Yeah.
Really strange group is Group C, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because Argentina weren't great. As much as they got the 2 wins, they really weren't great. Again, similar to Netherlands, are probably beatable on the day. Poland, it wouldn't surprise me if they go out. But obviously, in the round of 16. But Mexico, Saudi Arabia, like Doug said, good showing by the Saudis. They'll take credit from that.
Yeah. Well, we all get 2 points for that group, which makes it 8 to me, 5 to Doug, and 7 to Dan. If you can kind of see where this is going, I will leave that for you to decide. Then we move on to Group D. One of the first teams to make it through, France. Denmark, Doug?
Yeah. My biggest disappointment with Denmark. I was so expecting of them to do well this tournament, but I have had a lot of stick for what I said on Twitter, that I think Christian Eriksen should retire. I think he should do the right thing and retire. He hasn't got the legs anymore. I know people say this, that Manchester United, he does well in a Manchester United midfield, but this is a Denmark midfield who is full of youth, full of energetic players like your Damsgaard, I think Braithwaite has to go. There's a few players in that Denmark side that will be thinking, right, that's it. We basically retire. Schmeichel, will he have another World Cup? I'm very, very doubtful about that. I think there's a few players in that Denmark side that definitely have to consider their international careers. I think Eriksen is definitely one, because the injury that he had was life-threatening, and we all know that he was very, very lucky to survive that. I just have a feeling that I think they picked them on merit. I don't think they've picked them on form. And yes, Eriksen is one of those players that, can, do very, very well at certain times. This wasn't one of them. And I just think that if you look at the games that they played, I mean, the thing is, they scored 1 goal, and that was from Christensen. They don't have a striker. They don't have a midfielder to just be creative. So I think it's back to the drawing board for Denmark. I still keep the manager. I think Kasper Hjulmand is a very, very good manager. But I think this tournament has to have some alarm bells ringing in this Denmark side, knowing that they need a few of their old guard to just step aside and let the young contingency to step forward.
Dan, I mean, Doug said there, players being picked on merit. I mean, Southgate gets rollicking for that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. The thing is, though, I don't know whether it's just because we're obviously, we watch the English game week in, week out, no matter what division your team's in before you start. But, I think there's a lot of media that help sway decisions with some of the squads as well in England compared to the foreign divisions. That might be very similar. However, we don't know because we don't talk about the Danish league or things like that. But yeah, I do agree with Doug. About Denmark. I just think Eriksen is a hindrance now. There's 2 ways of looking at it. Like I say, when he came back to Brentford and he was playing there, a lot of players stood off him because they didn't want to be the person that injures him or causes a fatal incident. I mean, look at when were it last season? I think Luke Shaw and him had a little battle. Luke Shaw were ready for killing him, When he realised it was Christian Eriksen on the floor, he picked him up, shook his hand, and they were all smiles. That were anybody else, he'd have flattened them.
Brandon Williams.
That rate, Brandon Williams. For me, like I said, Denmark do have to move from that.
Surely, though, that is down to the manager. It's not down to Christian Eriksen to say, I think I'm going to retire, although obviously that gift is in his bequest, if you like. But, there is a manager there for a reason.
But then, Chris, how many players have said, I'm going to call it a day on my international career so that I can prolong my playing career?
Yes.
Now, we all know a playing career is what? Roughly to about the age of 35 on an average?
Yeah.
If you get anywhere close to 40, then that's like top-end career. Like top-end, you've played till well within, your reach.
Yeah.
But with him and his injury, for me, you'd have said club football's just enough. I know it's very difficult, and we can't speak for everybody with it.
Yeah.
When your nation comes calling, similar to Gareth Bale with what he said for Wales, that no matter how, if the manager wants to call on me and bring me in, I'll do it. But I just think when it comes to something like that, I'm not saying that it's the doctors or out like that. I mean, we can get into all the injury side of it, but I do believe that, what Jeff says there, Jeff took the words out of my mouth. Denmark are in a rebuild, and they need to sometimes get rid of the old men in between it.
But Doug, I still say, I come back to this point with you. There is a manager for a reason.
Yeah.
And if that manager looks at that side, as whether it's Eriksen, whether it's Bale, whatever, you cannot rely on this one superstar that generally countries have, and keep on picking them. But that, as I say, that's not really down. I mean, yes, Eriksen can turn around and say, I want to do my club football. Jamie Vardy did. It happened. Shearer did. But it's down to if he keeps getting picked, why shouldn't he go off and play for his country? It's down to the manager to say, actually, I'm sorry, Eriksen here, Christian, you're just not doing it anymore, so that's why they have managers, surely.
Yeah, but the argument is then that the player decides when he wants to quit. The player the player would decide. I will say this now. I will be amazed if Kasper Schmeichel, if Christian Eriksen are at the next World Cup in 2026.
Yeah.
I will be amazed if they're not there.
But why should it be down to why shouldn't the manager say, look, sorry, you're not part of my plans anymore? I mean, if you remember Paul Gascoigne, you could still say he should have gone to that World Cup under Glenn Hoddle, but Glenn Hoddle said that you're not for me, and he made that decision, and he dropped him. So why can't the Danish manager make that decision and say, I'm sorry, Christian? Why should it be down to the player to say I don't want to play anymore? The manager is the manager. He should be deciding who's in his squad, and if he feels Eriksen's holding the team back, he should be dropping him.
Yeah.
No, it's a fair point. Fair point.
Dan, I'll come back to you. I mean, Australia second, and we know that you got excited about this earlier. You had premature celebration, as they say, for Australia.
It might have been the Southern Australian bottle of Shiraz that I had earlier that might have swayed me this evening.
Loyalty there. I love the way you're giving a multiple choice question and you go for one that's not in there. I'm not saying that's going to be clipped or anything, but But did Australia get? And this is a bit of a Michael Owen quote, but I'm going to say it anyway. Would Australia have gone through if Denmark had been playing to their full potential? I mean, basically, are Australia there again, almost by default because Denmark didn't turn up?
I think that discredits Australia quite, to be honest. I think they've come into this and realised that if they're going to qualify, yes, France are in the group, but they know full well they've got to do what they need to do. Any team, any manager, any player will tell you, no matter who you're up against, no matter who you face, you've got to beat what's in front of you. Australia got them 2 wins. Great by you bastard. You fucking dingo. Australia had to dig deep and get the results, and they've managed to do that more than Tunisia and Denmark. However, when you do put that question to you, that if Denmark were the Denmark of the Euros, you'd have been looking at a totally different Group D.
Yeah.
Australia would have been nowhere near. It'd have been between France and Denmark for qualification, and who finished tops or second. But let's not discredit Australia. They have done a fine job, well worthy of being there, and. You know what? I wouldn't even rule them out against the Argies.
Can I just say, this is Leicester Till I Die DV. We are being sponsored by Shiraz Wines. And Dan is our official taster, I think, by the sound of it.
I am. I've spent all my afternoon watching me wallabies feed, mate.
Is that a euphemism for something?
Been tying my kangaroo down, sport.
We know you want to go on I'm a Celebrity only for one reason. Doug, same question to you. I mean, and I don't mean to be discrediting Australia. I'm just purely asking the question. Are they there by default because of Denmark?
I think it's very unfair to say that, because I actually think in the 3 games that Australia played, I think they looked pretty dangerous. Like, they had Leckie, they had Goodwin down the wings. They looked really, really dangerous. And look, they gave France problems in that first game. Yes, I know they lost 4-1, but they gave problems in that game. I would also say as well, the Tunisia game, they were very, very good. And then, against Denmark, it was a lovely finish from Jackson Irvine. Australia have got some good players. They have some very, very good players. Will they get past Argentina? Never say never at this World Cup, honestly. Yeah. Never say never. But I think it's a little bit unfair to say that they're there by default. I think, unfortunately, we've seen Tunisia had a good AFCON. They didn't really have a good tournament this time around.
Well,
but
I was just going to ask you, because they ended up beating the world champions.
Oh. Yeah, I know. I suppose in the end, sort of, France sort of, rotated ever so slightly, but it's actually funny to say that no team has actually finished top with 9 points. That's how really competitive this World Cup has been.
Yeah. And, we'll come on to a certain team I'm going to mention in a moment. But, yeah, Dan, Tunisia managed to get that win over France. Were they unlucky, do you think?
Yeah. That's why it goes back to, you can't discredit Australia for the job that they've had to do. They knew full well that, Tunisia had to, up their levels to get something against France. They managed it. But Australia did their job without having to hang on a prayer of Tunisia and not doing it. That's why I think you can't discredit them. Tunisia are unlucky, but that said, Group D is wrapped up, and it's nice to see a team like Australia in there. Although I wouldn't have discredited whether Tunisia was in there ahead of Denmark either.
Yeah, no, it is nice to see some of these other teams going through. Well, as you can see, I got 2 points. Doug and Dan got 1 point each. So that takes the scores to 10 for me, 8 for Dan, and 6 for Doug. Now, we are halfway through. Will it get any better in the second half? The football matches did. Will Dan stage a comeback? Will Doug not finish bottom again as Scott representing Scotland? These are the questions that will be answered straight after this.
England! England!
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV.
And this is your host, Chris.
No! God, please, no! No!
I know. I'm sorry, but he's cheap and available.
How rude.
Very, very rude.
And very, very cheap, may I add as well.
I am. You would not. I actually pay. Yeah, that's how cheap I am. Dan, come to you first with this one. This to me is the most messed up group of the World Cup. I don't know how we explain this. And the only thing we really did well on, in fairness, was Costa Rica coming bottom. And at one point, they weren't. At one point, they were actually through with Japan. And wouldn't that not have been brilliant? Spain and Germany going out at this stage, Dan.
Oh, that would have been fantastic. That would have been the icing on the cake. And that would have been FIFA sat there thinking, shit, what do we do? What do we do? Like, we can't have Spain and Germany go out from this group. But, you know, Jimmy Nail and his mate said it in the early 90s. Auf Wiedersehen, pet. And away the Germans go. Cannot fault it. I'm just glad.
I believe you have brought up a reference for a 1980s TV program. But mate, all credit to you for doing it, mate. Get it in there.
Why not? Why not? You know, just we've said it for years, haven't we? Germany are a team that grow into a tournament. They've just not grown at all. Another team in transition. You know, they're trying to bring that old. The old out and in with the new. You know, Jamal Musiala probably had one of the best tournaments of his career so far, but he's still very young. Thomas Muller's still knocking around like a bad smell. However, if that's the case, you could say the spirit of Joachim Low's there as well. You know, just it's good to see the Germans suffer. You know, not just as an Englishman, but as a football fan, because how much success they have had. So to see them out nice and early is great.
I just say to Tom Wayne, if he's still in, he doesn't mean it. He's talking for himself. He's not talking for the channel. Carry on.
If you want to come and get me on horseback, feel free.
Yeah, Throwback Mountain.
But no, totally. The Group E was a wide open group right down to the final fixture, and I'm so glad that Spain managed to go on top it. Japan managed to go on top it. Sorry.
I mean, even now you can't get the prediction right when it's in front of you. Look, I mean, just to try and match Dan's reference, as the Vapors said in the 1980s. Turning Japanese, and this group did turn Japanese. Oh, come on, that's got to be worth a point.
Well, I really think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say,
to me, we did the watch-alongs on your channel the other night, and I had Croatia, bloody hell, Crystal Palace. Where is this going? They might have done better if they're in there. I had Costa Rica and Germany, and I said to you, I'll probably come over at half time and watch, the Spain-Japan game with you. And I mean, I don't know. I think I nearly had a heart attack when Costa Rica went ahead and it was them and Japan going through. Explain this to me, because I don't understand football anymore. I really don't. Talk me through this group.
It was a group of shocks. Let me just say that. I mean, Japan beating Germany, I was actually one of the few to actually predict Japan to beat Germany. And then obviously Japan beat Spain, but to then lose to Costa Rica, I thought they'd blown it. I thought they had blown it, but it just goes to show that Spain 7, Costa Rica 0 was a one-off. I don't think we're going to see any sort of results like that again. Costa Rica, fair play to them. They lost 7-0 to Spain, and then they go and beat Japan. It was it was a shocking group, this one. But congratulations to Japan. Germany, that's their second group stage exit in a row now for Germany. So you have to say, is Hansi Flick under pressure now, or does he get 2024 Euros?
This is it. I mean, That they played well. Costa Rica played well against Germany. That was not a 4-2 game because that last goal should not have been allowed. It was a 3-2 game, and I did feel for them. I'd have loved them to have gone through with Japan. I'd have just, I say that group scene: Japan, Costa Rica, Spain, Germany would have been absolutely fantastic. So well done to Croatia for giving it a go. And Wales, that's what you do. You come at the World Cup and you give it a go. Jeff's. I mean, can I just say, if anybody's watching from Japan again, these are not the thoughts of the channel, just the thoughts of Jeff. He's in the Philippines, so he's near for you to go and get him. Japan supporters clean the stadiums after the matches. They probably went to the German hotel he says to pick the bags, but I think he may mean pack them for them. Can you imagine after a game at Anfield that all the Liverpool fans are going to stop and clean the stadium, Doug?
What's
Burnley for that matter?
Honestly, like
Liverpoolians don't even like cleaning their act up, let alone cleaning the stadium.
I'm not going to lie, but what's this got to do with the World Cup? Because I saw an Arsenal fan actually tweet earlier, "Oh, take that, you Uruguay and Andy Carroll." I was like, what is Uruguay going out of the World Cup got to do with Darwin Núñez against Arsenal?
Well,
like what?
The people will try and fit things in, but you can see there, this was actually my equal worst group. I only get a point. You two gentlemen, and I use the word very loosely, you two gentlemen get 2 points. So it brings you back into it. I am now on 11. Dan is right up my backside, as always he is, on 10. Again, yes, yet again. And Doug's on 8. So
this time, Chris, I'm going in dry.
You fucking are. I've sat down. So let's have a look at Group F.
Group F. Go on, Morocco.
Yeah, exactly. Let's start on that at that point, shall we? Go on, Morocco. I mean, all right, Canada, in fairness, we probably expected. Although not Douglas. he thought. Well, let me just say that Doug didn't do very well in this group, Doug. Let's go to Doug first, because let's get his embarrassment out of the way. Not just wearing that Wolves top, but just the embarrassment of not getting. In fact, can I just say, only 2 people didn't get anything right in the group, Dan and Doug. And this was Doug's. Belgium top, Canada second, Morocco third, Croatia fourth. In fairness, Doug, you couldn't have got it more wrong if you just put your hand in and pulled number balls out, could you really? I mean, I'll allow Belgium because I went for Belgium as well, but Canada second. I mean, just try if you can. And I accept that you were probably pissed when you were on my show that night, but do try and just explain your thought process behind those choices. Enjoy this, Dan. We'll sit back and enjoy this.
Yeah. I wish I could actually pick a rewind button and just go all the way back there, because I honestly don't know what I was thinking. And actually, the fact that I actually predicted Belgium to go through as well is a shock in itself, because I actually didn't rate them at all. I don't know. I don't know what was going through my head. I thought Canada had a good youthful side. I don't think they disgraced themselves in any shape or form.
But they got no points.
They got no points, but they got some plaudits, because the 3 games that they played.
The points. Don't go back without the points. reference there.
The three games that they played, Belgium, they should have battered them because Belgium are an Asian side and they were lucky to win. Croatia, okay, in the first sort of 35 minutes, they were looking very, very good. Morocco, they might have got something from Morocco. They did have a goal ruled out just before half time as well. But there are some very, very good, energetic players in this Canada side. And I just had a feeling that maybe they would have shocked us. But maybe this World Cup has come too soon for them. 2026 is where it's at. But I have to say, congratulations to Morocco. And yeah, thank you for beating Belgium, because I'm going to say this now. Belgium are one of the most overrated sides of all time.
You see, I feel sorry because obviously there's, half the Leicester team play a Belgian, but at least they're coming home soon and can get back to training with the club. Dan, you got Canada right.
I did.
That's as good as it gets in this group for you.
It is. However, I was the only person who predicted Morocco to do a lot better than yourself and Doug. And I've said it a few times that I expected Morocco to be a surprise package. And to be fair, that's the comment. That's what I was going to say. That's what happens when you have a plethora of talent at Belgium and you're still playing the same tactics you'd play in a Wigan side that had Emile Heskey and Emerson Boyce.
Don't be knocking Emile Heskey. Whoa. There's a line, Dan. There's a line.
There is. He did all right in blue for you, but for blue and white of Wigan, shite. Or sheet, as Doug would say.
He was a good goal. He had a good goal scoring record at Liverpool as well, didn't he, Doug?
Yes, he did. Yeah. But after that, going from
Every dog
Liverpool,
has his day. Every dog has his day. Just remember, 5 million Adi Akinbaye. He had a great time at Burnley Football Club.
Fair point, and don't go K to dog. But
I did say Morocco. I did say Morocco will do something. I just thought that Belgium, with their golden generation, last chance saloon with their golden generation, but we didn't see enough. People are asking questions about one player. Like I say, what's wrong with Eden Hazard? Well, you tell me. Apparently, he's at Real Madrid, fat and can't play football. Kevin De Bruyne wasn't spraying. Yeah, exactly. Pesh, not even piss. He's pesh, right?
He's fucking
That's how
pesh.
bad he is. He's pesh, and he couldn't spray the ball about. Could Kevin De Bruyne as much as he could at Manchester City, because he didn't have that plethora of talent. And the only target Romelu Lukaku hit was a flipping side of the substitutes bench, and that was it. It's the only time he did target all bloody tournament.
But this is the thing. This is the thing.
So he went and punched the like you say, the substitutes bench at the end. I was surprised he didn't miss it and fall on the floor. I mean, he was awful.
This is the thing with Belgium, right? They had a combined age of 92 for their three centre backs. You play Toby Alderweireld, you play Jan Vertonghen, and you play, what was it, Thomas Meunier, I think it was. Like, that's a combined age of 90. Like, honestly, like, is anyone surprised that they're out? Is anyone surprised that they've gone out? They were shocking every single game. That Morocco
3 or 4
game.
years ago at Spurs, when they were playing together, brilliant. But that's 3 or 4 years ago. Years have passed. We've had a pandemic. We've had, we've lost loved ones. A lot of shit has happened in 4 years. But to still have those two players playing together at the back when they are both at not even arse end of the career, back end of really at the back end of the career, knocking on the door of retirement.
But the thing is as well about that though, is that Belgium's golden generation have completely and utterly flopped. Now, I saw a comparison between England's golden generation to Belgium's golden generation. I'd have to argue Belgium's golden generation is worse because they had that World Cup in 2018. They had it very, very close. They were very, very close to winning it. And the thing is that let them down, Roberto Martinez. Don't rate the guy.
Yeah.
Haven't rated him since he was at Everton. Haven't rated him since he was at Wigan. After that, I think he got the Belgium job because nobody else wanted the job. I think he's overrated as a manager. I think his tactics are clueless. He picks players like on merit, not form. How the hell you don't play Wout Wees, who has probably been one of the best centre-back signings of Belgium in the Premier League? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And honestly, I'm not cussing out Kevin De Bruyne here. Look, he didn't have a very good tournament, but if Belgium don't perform, Kevin De Bruyne doesn't perform. It's just as simple as that. It is as simple as that.
Chris,
I'll just
Chris,
say though that
Chris, I want to say to you, Chris, as well though, like, what's your thoughts on this one? Because obviously you've got a plethora of players in that Belgium squad. You look at that first game, Yuri Tielemans in a front three, playing as sort of like a wing, like an inside forward / winger. Like, you've got to look at that tactic and think, what is Martinez doing apart from going, like, how do I fit every ounce of talent I've got in this squad into a starting 11?
I was about to start singing like, he's staying home, Tielemans staying home. I mean, I can't see anybody wanting to buy him after that World Cup. I mean, I do, yeah. I look at that and I think I can see a bit of Leicester in there because Rodgers has had this problem that he's trying to fit everybody in, and he's ended up putting square pegs in round holes. And we've had Castagna, but when I look at the players, and this is where it went wrong for me, the players that were left out of that last game. I mean, they needed to win that last game against Croatia. And they left some huge names on the bench and they brought them on, and it was ridiculous. I don't know who it was. I think it was Hazard. He brought on in like the 88th minute. I mean, Jesus. Yeah. But the big question for me from the whole Belgium debacle in the World Cup is, who the hell paid £100 million for Lukaku? Because I'm sorry, £100 would be an overpayment. 100 million for that. I mean, but let's look on the plus side. Morocco, it's so far to me, it's kind of the story of the World Cup. Because Japan have been there, they did it on their own territory when they hosted it. But Doug, Morocco, that's brilliant. The fact that they finished top there, you can see none of us predicted it.
Yeah, and they got rid of the old manager, what's his name, Halmazovic, I think it was as well. Hakim Ziyech has been fantastic in this tournament. Let me just say that. He has been absolutely fantastic in this tournament. But Morocco have been very, very good in this tournament. They really have. They really have. And the thing is as well, for Morocco's sake, I'm happy that they got top. They will give Spain a very, very good game on that Monday. They really, really will. I think Morocco are definitely one of the dark horses now for me. To go far.
Yeah. And I just couldn't believe Lukaku, because I think I covered that game, didn't I? And I was like, I was just like, for God's sake, how did he miss that one?
Elephant touch.
To
that's
be honest,
why.
Chris, look at it, right? His best stats are playing in Serie A for Inter Milan or 2 loan moves at Everton and West Bromwich Albion. If that says something about a player that's been overhyped and had moves to big clubs just based on the fact of decent loan moves.
Yes, yeah. And like you say, 100 million, really. But in that group, Croatia second. I got that right. And I got Canada bottom. Doug, Well, like I said, I don't know why you turned up for this group, Doug, to be honest with you. And Dan got 1. So that makes it 13 to me, 11 to Dan, 8 to Doug, with 2 groups left to go. Just
Make
have
it
a think.
13 to you. I thought we were level pegging.
No.
I thought we were level pegging after the last group because I had 2 and you had 1.
Yeah, and that took you up. I was on 10 and you were on 8. So 8
What?
plus 2 is 10.
Huh?
Yeah,
There was one between us on the last one.
Yeah. After Group D, it was 10, 6, 8.
Time for VAR.
Group E, you got 2 points, which took you from 8 to 10. Yeah. And I got 1 point, which took me from 10 to 11. So I was 1 ahead of you.
Yeah.
I've now got 2 in this one.
And I've got 1 in this one.
You've got 1. So 10 plus 1 is 11. 11 plus 2 is 13. God, these Northerners, you know, they do try and.
I'm not. It's just on the last one. You said it was even.
No, I never used that word even because it was never been even. Bloody hell, VAR. Yeah, I tell you what, I'm off to look at the telly. Right, let's put it out there. And he's back. Okay, Group G. Well,
I'm not saying I'm competitive, Chris, but I do love an underdog story. So fuck off.
What I'm saying is that you're fucking crap at predictions, and we all know that. I think Kate will back me up with that. Look, this one. Brazil, they've not played the best, Doug, but they still came top. I mean, we just watched this one, haven't we? Switzerland, at one point they were up against Serbia, then they were down 2-1, then they came back to 2-2, then they went to 3-2. So you can't say that they don't deserve it. Cameroon, disappointing for them, I think, and Serbia. They just didn't do enough to win. Let's be honest with you. They needed to win today. They gave it the best shot and they fell short.
Yeah. How did we do for Group G?
You got Brazil right. And
You've not put the graphic up for Group G, Chris.
Have I not?
No.
No, still Group F.
Everybody's a fucking critic, aren't they?
Yeah.
Doug only wanted it up because this is the one group he's won. And he's won it with 2 points. I mean, how bad is that? No, Doug, well done, mate. Brazil and Switzerland. Switzerland, I think, perennial group, getting out of the group and into the last 16. That's generally as far as they go. But to my mind, they deserved it. I mean, this was the game that I enjoyed probably the most of this World Cup, but I bet that was because you had the boring 0-0 up until about the 88th minute, and at last I had the better game.
It wasn't a boring 0-0. It wasn't a boring 0-0 at all between Cameroon and Brazil. It was actually a very good 0-0.
Let me have my moment. Let me have my moment.
No, Switzerland are a prime example of teams that just know how to qualify through a group stage. They always seem to do it. And Shaqiri, yes, his hips don't lie. And Bolo.
I knew you were going to get that one in.
And I suppose the big plus for Switzerland, there you go, is that even though that they, didn't play very well against Brazil, the last 2 games, Cameroon and that game against Serbia, they were fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
Chris is very annoyed, Doug, that you stole both of his jokes there.
I will say this now. I think they will give Portugal a very good game next round.
I would. I mean, I'm going to say, Dan, I mean, I had Serbia to come second, as indeed did you. They've disappointed me this World Cup, along obviously as a lot of teams have, but Serbia, they should have killed Switzerland off. They had the chance, and there was just some awful defending.
Yeah, it were. Really strange game tonight, to be fair. Like I say, they went 1-0 down. That seemed to fire them up a little bit. You know, they turned the game on its head, got back to 2-1. And you almost felt like, right, you know, Serbia have got a foothold in this.
You could say that they were an itch from getting a draw.
Oh, no.
Can he have a red one?
Oh.
Can he have a red one instead?
That Brendan from Quarter Trip. I'm sorry, Doug, but that is your first yellow card. No, but I did expect much more of Serbia, Chris. And
Serbia.
Yeah, Serbia. I expected more from Serbia because that's who we had in second. I just thought that again, it's just one of them. You know, even down to the last game, Chris. I remember you saying you was like, no, you think Serbia is going to be the team to turn it around, and
I did, yeah.
And they just didn't. They didn't. You know, that game had twists and turns, as you say. As much as it was a good game to cover, you know, going 1-0 down, then going back in front, and then they just threw it away. And once the Swiss got that third goal, it was a case of shut up shop and good night Vienna for the Serbs.
Yes, yeah. Doug, Cameroon.
Strange side.
They managed to beat Brazil, but we saw, you know, Spain beaten on the last day. We saw France beaten in the last game by Tunisia. Can we read too much into that?
I think in the end, the Cameroon. Look, I like Cameroon. I think they played well tonight against Brazil. They should have maybe got something. Well, obviously they did, but they won. They should have maybe beaten Serbia.
Thank you, Michael Owen.
I think they should have beaten Serbia. If I'm being honest, I think they should have beaten Serbia. The Switzerland game, they just sat back and allowed Switzerland onto them, unfortunately. It's a shame, but good for Vincent Abubakar to get a couple of goals. I know he got sent off tonight, which was very, very stupid. I like the fact that he actually shook hands with the ref and then had to obviously, you know, go in for his early bath. But
yeah,
Cameroon, all the talk was obviously about Onana leaving earlier as well. So it's disappointing to see that happen as well. But Cameroon will be back. I think they'll be definitely back for well, almost. I think they will
that's
be.
Not almost.
Well, nearly.
I've just realised that you haven't been called this for a while, but Doe. Yellow card, Doe.
Sake.
It has been a while. Well, you can see there that Dan, you and me, we got one point each. Doug actually won a group there and got 2. But I'm not going to tell you what the scores are because we're coming up to the end now. It's going to get very, very, very exciting.
Not for me, it's not. I don't get a point in this one. I already know what's coming.
Look, I'm trying to build the excitement up here because it is...
Well, I'm glad you two can be excited because how can I be excited at not getting one bastard team right in this group?
Oh, well, it's not our fault, you shit, mate. You know, don't have a go at us. You know, Jesus, there's no, you know, it's your fault. I mean, you know, even Kate beats your predictions. Right, let's stick with you for this then, Dan. Portugal top. not Uruguay. Korea
Portugal
second,
third.
not Ghana. Uruguay third, not Portugal. Ghana fourth, not Korea. Tell me, as I said to Doug earlier, talk me through your thinking on this one, Dan.
I can't even blame it on being pissed because I barely drink these days. But I did base it on the fact of the Piers Morgan interview, I won't lie. I did think that might have some sort of cause for disruption amongst the harmony in the Portuguese side, which it didn't in the end. I did say that I think Ghana, I did think that one of the African sides were going to go on and do pretty well. And for some reason, I chose Ghana, who decided to finish bottom of the group. Well done, Daniel. Uruguay, I thought had the quality. Korea, again, similar to Poland, I based it on the fact that I thought they were hanging on to the hopes of one man in Heung-min Son, who, to be honest, hasn't really been in form for Spurs. So I thought that was my thinking for why they were bottom. But, I will happily hold my hands up and say I got it wrong. If you look at the prediction...
You can't deny it, it's there in black and white, mate.
I have really ballsed this one up. I don't know why I'm whinging about points when I haven't got any in this one. So
I did wonder. I didn't like to say. I thought I'll just leave this. I'll just let this lie.
It's fine. We all have our down days. It's just mine's every single day that ends in the word day.
It is. Now, I mean, Doug, you had a note earlier, but on this one, I mean, you're with me on this. We both hate Portugal.
Yeah.
But they did what they had to do, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I mean, the fact is that Piers Morgan interview may well have made a bit of a temperamental in there, but they weren't great. Portugal, they sit back too much. Like Fernando Santos, I don't care what people say. Yes, he may have won the Euros, etc., but he's another manager I think is holding this Portugal side back. They're too defensive. They're way too defensive. And as well, Cristiano Ronaldo, I just hope someone just basically bulldozes through him because I cannot stand that man. I cannot stand him. The fact that he's...
Say what you think.
The fact that he's literally trying to celebrate a goal that was clearly Bruno Fernandes's against Uruguay is ridiculous. And I'm kind of happy that they got beat today because it kind of sets it up for a Switzerland-Portugal game where Portugal are very good defensively and Portugal are not the best defensively. So I think there might be a wee shock in that. I don't see Portugal winning this World Cup. Let me just say that now. I don't see them winning the World Cup.
Dan, I mean, Korea beat Portugal. Uruguay went out. And along with Uruguayan as well, they both went out. I mean, we said earlier about who we were most surprised at going out, but if we're happiest at who's gone out, I'd sooner Uruguay go out than Germany.
I don't know. It's all about personal choice, I think, when it comes to teams. Obviously, as an Englishman, seeing the Germans out, fucking brilliant, top stuff. The thing is with Uruguay,
better than seeing Suarez crying, though.
Well, it depends. It depends. Like I said, it depends on your preference of whether you hate a player. Don't get me wrong. I've played Football Manager. I've played FIFA. A player's been a bit resentful on a game, and in real life, I just think you're a prick. Just because all based on his actions on a game. I think it's just male instinct when it comes to it. But that said, yeah, it is good to see teams like Uruguay go out a lot was probably hanging on the likes of players like, Suarez, Cavani in there as well. Is Valverde Uruguayan or is he in the Argentinian side?
Yeah, he's a Uruguayan.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that watch out for Valverde. He could be one of the players of the tournament. But he clearly hasn't been. And that's just reminded me I need to update my World Cup fantasy team because I've got him in it. So yeah. That's
you doing any better in that, are you, mate?
To be fair, not too bad. I think I'm second. In my group. I mean, there is only two of us in it. No, I'm joking. There's about.
Well, it's you and Kate. You'll be second, won't you?
No, I think there's about 7 people in it, and I'm second, so I'll take it. But I do. It is always good to see a side like Uruguay. Like I said, I'd have loved Uruguay and Portugal both to miss out, and Korea and Ghana go through. But it is what it is. There's upsets in other groups, and we move on now to the round of 16, and I'm looking forward to the knockouts.
We do indeed. So, well, what can I say? Are we ready for the scores?
Mm-hmm.
We will do it.
Yeah.
Straight. I'm going to say this. We will do it. I can't find the right thing to play, buggy hell. Where are we? We'll do it. We'll do it straight after
Christmas!
Indeed. So let us have a look. And the fact that that's the order that we've just come up in, then that has absolutely no coincidence at all. Look, you're leaning forward. It's like when you're on Top Gear. You're leaning forward, waiting for the results. Okay, here we go.
I know, it's so difficult not to look smug at this point.
Doug, 12 points. Dan, that last group booked you at 11. And I know, it's a surprise. No, it isn't. Sorry, no, I've got that. No, it's 12 each. Sorry, 11, 12. I'd actually just not added anything on, which meant you were the same. I've taken one off. So you're on 12 each.
I'll let Doug take second. It's about time someone from Scotland saw a bit of success.
And that leaves me on 16. And like Jeremy Clarkson said, time for the smug face. Right. Very
Hope you get relegated this season.
And on that bombshell.
Yeah. Right. Let us very, very quickly. I'll just bring it up here. These are the games for the next round. Netherlands are going to be taking on the US of A. How do you see that one going, Doug?
Do you know what? I actually fancy a wee surprise here. I think that's going to be a draw. And I think the US may sneak it in the extra time.
So you're going to go for the US of A. Daniel.
Netherlands. Straight out. Although I could see it, but I just think this is where the Netherlands will up it a notch.
I probably have to agree with you. I'm have to agree with you. Doug, Argentina, Australia is the other
I'm
game.
afraid this is where unfortunately the end of the road for Australia, Argentina.
Argentina. Dan?
Yeah, Argentina. Although the way this World Cup's gone, we could be wrong on both results so far.
Yeah, we could be. I'm having to agree with you, Argentina, as well. So just remember, guys, that although I'm leading at this stage, who knows? You could make a comeback. I'll be honest with you, it's very unlikely, but you could. France, Poland, Doug.
This will be an absolute tanking. France.
Dan?
Yeah, I've got to go for France as well. I just think Poland should be very happy just to even be at this stage.
Yeah. I don't think there's going to be a lot of change because we're all agreeing so far.
Just put Doug down for Senegal, will you, Chris? And don't even ask.
Oh no, I've got to ask him. And let me just say, I'm going to do this. But Doug, England, Senegal. Who are you going for?
I think this is your hardest game yet. I'm going to be honest. I think this is your hardest game. I think this is going to go all the way. I'm going to go 1-1 in the actual game. And then I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to go England on pens.
So just say that again, Doug. I didn't quite catch that. Sorry.
You didn't press record.
I'm going to go England on pens.
You are going England on pens. There we go, guys. That will, of course, be clipped.
So we have now just been cursed by the Scottish. Well done, Doug. Thank you very much for that.
That was my plan all along.
Reverse psychology, you little shite bag.
Dan.
Yeah, this for me is where we see England step it up a notch, and I think Gareth Southgate will understand that as well. So I'm going to say that we do it over 90 minutes and get past Senegal.
Ooh, right. For me, I am worried because I do think that there is a Nations League game in there inside us at some point.
I was hoping that was the one against the USA, to be honest.
See, I think USA deserved it. I don't think we were that bad. I think USA played well against us. But I've got to go England. I can't go against my team. Now then, Doug, the Vapors, Japan or Croatia?
I think this is going to be Japan. I'm going to go Japan.
Oof. Dan?
No, I'm with Doug. I'm with Doug. I think the arse like a Japanese flag isn't going to fall out at this stage. I think they're definitely going to do something. Croatia are a team that are aging, so I think Japan will surprise the Croats and get through to the next stage ahead of them.
I can't argue with you, but this is the problem, that we're all going to end up with no points if it all goes tits up. Oh no, Doug could get a point for the USA against Netherlands. Can you imagine if
Chris's
you do all this and Doug is the only one that comes out with a point?
Chris's tactic here is no matter what, whether you get a point, Doug, he'll still be in front anyway. So if he just agrees with us,
shush. Brazil, South Korea. All right, I'll go first then. If that makes you easier, I am going to go Brazil.
I'll go first when it comes to Brazil, South Korea. Well nominated, Chris. Well nominated.
You know me too well, young Daniel.
I was bred from one sack. I should know you very well.
Doug, I have a feeling you're going to go for an upset here.
No chance. Brazil.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, It is a one-off game. I get that, but Brazil should have enough to beat South Korea.
Well, what about you, Daniel?
You know what? Sod it. Let's upset the apple cart. Go on, Korea.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm bottom anyway, practically. So sod it. Might as well take a risk.
All right, Morocco, Spain. Now, I will, to just be still unfair, I will go first on this one as well, because I never let it said that I'm just copying everybody, you know. Actually, I'm going to surprise. I'm going to go Morocco. I think they're going to cause an upset. I really do. And Spain, I'm sorry, I know they got 7 past Costa Rica, but the 3 of us could have played against the whole Costa Rican side and got 7 that night. You can't judge. You can't judge Spain by that performance. So, and they haven't impressed me in the other games, to be honest with you. So, I am going for the upset of Morocco. Doug?
I'm with you. Morocco. Spain are overrated. Sorry. They are.
Yeah. Daniel-san?
No, clean house. I'm going for Morocco as well. I've said Morocco are going to go far in this tournament, and I stick by my guns.
Now then, Portugal, Switzerland. I'll go first again just to show you that I'm not being, you know, I just can't stand Portugal. And that's enough of a reason to go Switzerland in my eyes, but you know, they haven't overly impressed me. I'm going to go for another shot. I'm going to go Switzerland. You know, they impressed me today. They really did impress me. They had, they went the goal up quite early on. They shocked Serbia. They then went behind, but they didn't give up and they came back. So I'm going to go Switzerland here. And bye-bye Ronaldo. Doug?
I've nothing else to say. I have to agree. I think Switzerland are a know-how team. They know how to get past people. I think this is bye-bye Portugal. I'm going Switzerland.
Wow. Doug, Dan, you get the last one. Which way are you going to go on this one?
Portugal pens.
Oh, Portugal. Right. So, Netherlands, me and Dan, but Doug thinks the USA will turn up. They're going to make America great again. We've all gone Argentina, we've all gone France, we've all gone England, we've all gone Japan. That was simple. Brazil, us two, Doug, but Dan's, I think he's just had a weird smoke. He's gone Korea. We've all gone Morocco, and well, Switzerland, and then Dan. I thought he was a friend, didn't you? But Dan has gone for Portugal.
Only on pens, though. Only on pens.
Well, it's still a win. Going to leave you with this, guys. Just a bit of fun. I did it with Doug earlier, and he enjoyed it. So let's do it again. This is how, at the end of the group stage, the teams have rated in this World Cup. You're all right, Doug. Don't worry. Scotland aren't on there because they didn't qualify. So.
That was a terrible Scottish accent.
I know. I'm sorry. I was trying to impersonate Andy Cameron. Qatar are the worst team in the World Cup. Canada are the second worst. But and as any Welsh fans in, I'm sorry, and this gives me no pleasure to say this, not half. Wales are the third worst team in this World Cup. But Denmark are down there, the fifth, only just behind Costa Rica. That is embarrassing. Costa Rica, Iran, and Saudi Arabia are all above Denmark. Ghana, Belgium are down in 23rd. I mean, to say that they are the second best team in the world according to FIFA, as if They never get anything wrong, do they? Belgium, they are 23rd. And then Uruguay 20th, and Uruguay woman as well. Poland 19, Korea 18, Cameroon, Ecuador, Germany are the only 15th best team in the competition.
I'm going to say, Chris, are we meant to see that top half because we're only seeing the bottom?
You are, because I've got two screens here and I'm scrolling it up on the other one, and I couldn't be asked to update it for you guys. Spain, who have got through, Doug, are 14th. Germany, who haven't, are 15th. So the USA are 13th. And Dan not quite making it into the top 10. And if I'd known how much that Australia, how close they are to your heart, I would have done a match of the day Liverpool moment and included Australia in the top 10 graphic. But I didn't realise they meant that much to you. So I have got Australia in 11th.
Justice for Uncle Rolf.
Yeah, you can tie his kangaroo down, Sport.
Still can't tell what it is yet.
No, when he said Jake the Peg, we knew what his peg is now. Dan, who do you think is the best team in the World Cup so far?
I'm going to say Brazil.
Wow. Brazil are only in seventh. Yeah, exactly. I think.
No.
No, Brazil are 7th. Portugal are 6th. And I know I've not got the graphic up there because I'm building.
If I had to take a second stab, I'd say probably Morocco then.
Actually, Morocco are 3rd best team. We could be here all night, couldn't we? He's going to go through the other 29 teams that we haven't already named. Here we go.
Fuck off.
It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home.
Yes, we are the best team in the World Cup so far. It might
Doug's gone to be sick. He's gone to be sick.
Oh, one day, Doug, you may see this. I mean, just remember, Doug, I never thought in my lifetime that I would see Leicester win the Premier League. So you've got hope yet, Doug.
He's seen a lot of Chris. He's seen the Cold War, Boer War, 2 World Wars, maybe a 3rd. And Leicester winning the trophy. He's seen it all.
No, sir, he didn't expect that.
I didn't expect England being top of the group in the statistical table anyway.
Well, I think if you look, it is actually only on alphabetical order, but I'll take it.
Fair point.
I'll take it at this point. So we've got 7 points. Points per game, 2.33. Clean sheets, 67%. And failed to score, 33%. He's back. He's back from outer space. Just turn around now without that look upon your face. Doug,
camera off. He pressed mute. Fucking English.
Like I said, I don't know if you caught what I said, Doug, but, at the end of the day, I never thought that I would see Leicester win the Premier League. And I managed to see Leicester win the Premier League in my lifetime. So if you stick at it, you're younger than me. You're only just 30. You could see Scotland get and win a World Cup.
Yeah,
though,
right.
Isn't it? It's unlikely. You are a great sport. Guys, it has been a pleasure for you. And it never has for me. Dan's going to go off now and have take his brochure he's got on Australia into the toilet with him, and
just the perks of the job.
When it's he's going to have his own Ayers Rock Just say- Sorry, I got rid of that. Hey, come on, it's gone midnight, and I'm going to let you two guys go. Doug, thank you very much, sir. We've done a lot together today, and we'll be doing some more together tomorrow because I'm having a day off. I'm having a. Oh no, we're doing because we're doing the boxing. I'm having a day off from the football. Details in the chat below. Just tell people where you can be found.
Yeah, you can find me at the Hug House. The Hug House.
Scotland's affected him that bad. He needs a hug. He needs a hug.
Tell you what, Dan, can you tell Doug where they can find Doug?
They can find him at the Dugout Football channel on Facebook, Instagram, which is at Douglas.Horn. On Twitter, it is Enrod92. That is where you can find Doug. I've got it down, Doug. Don't worry, I can bail you out the shit when you need me. In fact, I've said it wrong. It's Enrod_92, isn't it?
If you'd gone for dough, I could have seen where you'd gone with it.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Oh no.
I can see that getting clipped.
Yeah, really? I'd rather make you go and do that. I mean, I've got a whole collection for you.
He just wants a hug.
I've got clips where you can't count, clips where you don't know your alphabet. I could do a whole thing for the Scottish Tourist Board here.
Just a Scotsman talking about the World Cup needing a hug.
I can only follow that with one thing. Doug, would you like another go at that, Doug?
I'll have another go, yes.
Right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, where you can find Douglas on social media, take 2. Go on, Doug. You can do it. You can do it. Go on. We've got faith in you.
My YouTube channel is the Dugout Football channel on YouTube. I am also on Twitter at Enrod_992. I'm also on Instagram at Douglas.Horn. There we go.
We go. Write them down next time. It might not be. You see, that's what happens when you come into a Leicester channel wearing a Wolf shirt. Dan, are you okay to go? Do you know where you are?
I think so. I've rehearsed my lines all week, so I think I should be all right.
Go for it.
Yeah, you can find us at Turf Moorhouse TV on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Also on Twitch as well. Please do come over and show your support. Yes, I support a Championship football club, but not for much longer. More in hope.
In fairness, you could come back up, but it's early days yet. So
we're back next week. We're back next week. Next weekend we're back playing football again.
You are, because you're only Championship and not Premier League, and that is why.
We are just fodder to the FA. That's all we are.
Your fault, Chris, with England getting top spot, Doug. Jeff, thanks, guys. Great show. The Hug House.
The Hug House.
What a way to end the show. Things can only get better.
Look for a red light on the building along the Royal Mile.
Oh, Ash says he prefers the Hug House. Guys, it's been a pleasure for one of us. I don't know which one. All I can say is, at this point in the competition, I'm winning. But then again, what can I say? Doug,
football's always the winner, Chris.
Sorry, Dan?
Football will always be the winner.
This is true. Unless, of course, you're from Scotland, when it will never be the winner.
I would rather be in the Hug House than the Doghouse.
Yes. Let's be honest with you. If you open the door and said 3 hugs, and the guy on the other side was wearing that jumper, Would you not run a mile? Let's be honest.
999 would be the closest number to speed dial I've ever had. We love you, Doug. We love you. I'll give you a hug.
I can't help me, but I will see you tomorrow at about 2:30, Doug.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
What will we covering tomorrow?
Netherlands against USA and Argentina, Australia.
Oh, God. We're going to be thinking of Dan when we're watching Australia, won't we?
Yeah.
With his Tourism Australia brochure. Doug, all the best, mate. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Take it easy,
Bye-bye.
Dan, I will see you tomorrow at 9.
You will. You will. We are.
9. Where the where your little white rose, so I know where you are. So I can recognise you. I only recognise you from behind, remember? Nate says, come on, USA. Good luck to USA tomorrow. I know I have gone Holland because I do honestly think Holland will win, but I honestly would love to see you. I'd love it. In fact, I tell you what, shall we ask Kevin what he thinks of possibly America beating Holland? Do you know, what would he say?
I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
There we go. We did indeed. So good luck, America, tomorrow. Let's make you great again. Dan, I will see you at 9 o'clock tomorrow for our boxing watch along. I'm going to now go and see if there's a channel I can find it on. I'm sure there will be somewhere. Take care, buddy. Thanks a lot for coming on. It's been a laugh, even
It has.
Question my arithmetic.
No, I've loved it. Thank you for having me, and I'm always up for a laugh. So I'll see you tomorrow for the boxing.
You will indeed. Take care, buddy. Speak to you soon.
Yeah, speak to you in a bit.
Thanks to Dan there. Dan the man, Diddy Dan, whatever you want to call him. He's a great friend of the channel. Both him and Doug's, because he probably didn't get either of those links to where they are, but they are both in the description below on the YouTube channel. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a bit of fun, been a bit of a laugh. We're all shit at predictions, and that's the end of that. But this World Cup has not lent itself to good predictions. Let's just be honest with it. I'm back tomorrow, like I say, on Doug's at 2. I'm back here at 9:15 with Diddy Dan, and we will be covering. We'll be covering something. I've forgotten what we're covering. We're covering Tyson. There we go. We're doing this one. We're covering that. Tyson versus Chisora. And don't forget, ladies, if you are free and want to see a picture of Dan, that I can send you this through. And that is Dan's OnlyFans pic. Just that is it. I can see what he's doing in the green room. I'm going. It's been a pleasure. Too many names to mention. Thank everybody who was in the chat. If you've loved it, if you've enjoyed it, please do press that subscribe button, and definitely, please smash the likes. It's free. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it really does help the channel out. I will see you tomorrow, as I say, on Doug's, and I will see you tomorrow on mine, 9:15, for a little bit of boxing. Good night.
Thank you for watching. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
That's all, folks.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye, and see you next time.
Till we die.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You'd better like them too, or I'll be back.
Leicester Till I Die TV.